Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M40 M43, the Tier 8 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Erlenberg, and it's under the command of D-Tronics UK of REBRN. He's on the NA account. Now, in this battle, I'm in this battle as well. You can see me up ahead. I'm in the LT432, fixing stupid, and Mary Banks is in the AMX M449 Liberté. Well, the battle has started, and D-Tronics has decided he's going to go over to the east side of the map. He's carrying the 8-inch howitzer. I know that because the gun doesn't extend over the front of the vehicle, and he's only got 16 rounds to play with. It's 203mm, that's the equivalent of 8-inch. 1050 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armour, and a burst radius of 11.1 meters. Okay, he's just testing his gun elevation as he drives along. And he's going to move into the wood to seek cover. His reload time is just shy of 38 seconds. It's not too long. I must admit, during the battle I thought that he was actually in the M40. This is the M43 with the 8-inch howitzer. The M40 has the 155mm howitzer, and that's capable of doing only 700 alpha. Okay, well, I've moved over to near the White House because, or the windmill I should say, because an E25's been spotted, and I've decided to go in and start shooting, and I find there's a fox there as well. Thread myself between them, firing at the E25 as I depart. A Type 59 there as well, and D-Tronics noticed an E25 who was firing on the enemy, on me and his teammates, and he fires a round in at the E25. It goes long, and I've gone in for another quick circuit around the enemy tanks, firing shells into the list this time, and I've managed to get away without getting too badly damaged, but I am fairly badly damaged. And you can see D-Tronics is now aiming over to the west side of the map, and there's a Tiger 1 there. Mary Banks has gone over the river, she's on the west side of the map, and there's a Tiger in the little square, and well, he can't really get much damage on him from there. And unfortunately at that moment I got killed because I didn't get support from a Type 59 who was supposed to actually support me, but he pulled back just as I went in for the third run. And I hoped that the Type 59 would have gone in and finished the lists off, but no, he didn't. He stayed back, pulled back, and I got wiped out. So I'm out the game now, and I'm a spectator. As you can see, there's 3 enemy tanks trying to get into the castle grounds: a P43 Tur, a Carnarvon, and an IS-2 shielded. In fact, it's the Carnarvon Action 10, the free one, the premium one that Wargaming gave out after the marathon. He fires a round in, splashes the Tur and the Carnarvon Action 10. So he's picked up some more hit points. Mary Banks is in the castle grounds, but now she's being fired on by a Tiger, which is, as we saw, it was in that square. And there's that IS-2 shielded. He's pulling back after Mary moved up. Now the Liberté, the M449L, is actually based on the designs of the Tiger II, and it's got a fairly decent gun. Oh, and there's the first kill for D-Tronics. He takes out the IS-2 shielded with a direct hit. 206 hit points for that one. But I'm afraid Mary Banks is now receiving fire from the enemy Arty as well as others, and unfortunately she's been wiped out as well. So now D-Tronics is the only one of our platoon who's in the game. Okay, we've got the P43 Tur. He's lining up on that tank. The Italian Tier 7 medium. Fairly weak armour, but it does have a 90mm gun. He fires around behind it, hoping that it was going to pull back some more, but he splashes it instead for 271, which makes it a one-shot. Now, unfortunately, the enemy is doing rather well up near the windmill on the east side of the map, because a pair of lists is blocking us from moving further north. He's now aiming for the Action 10. Switch to the Tiger 1, who's going after our IS-6, which is probably not a smart move because the Tiger 1's only got an 88mm gun, but the IS-6 has got a 122mm, so he can do considerably more damage. But so can D-Tronics, and he's claimed his second kill on the Tiger 1. Nice shot. The guy was cornered, and it worked. Okay, I think one of the reasons why D-Tronics is not getting so much damage on the enemy, I think I know what it is now. He's not indicating the targets. You need to T-key on the targets to get the down arrows appearing above them, and then your teammates will shoot at those targets because they see the down arrow as an invitation to shoot that target. Okay, we've got a T-25-2 sitting between the houses, and he's being held at bay by an IS who's just been stunned. Now, can he get around onto this guy? He's very low on hit points. Oh, he splashes him to death. The shell hit the building, but the splash reflected off the building onto the T-25-2 and wiped him out. Unfortunately, the IS didn't see the two Lisses, which were hiding behind the windmill, and now D-Tronics is aiming at what he thinks is the weaker of the two, the one that was on the slope of the hill. He's now adjusting to go after the other one, who's being held back by the Type 59, who let me down. Yes, that's the guy who decided to pull back rather than support my thrust to harry the enemy and get them distracted, so each of us could either take him out. But he's now aiming where he thinks the list will appear. At least he's hoping the list will appear. And instead he's actually switched over to the west side of the map, going after the P43 Tur, who's sitting by the gateway, trying to get shots on our IS-6, and he's making himself an obvious target which D-Tronics can take out. Now, he fired that one a bit too soon. He wasn't fully dialed in at the moment he let loose, and as a consequence he missed the opportunity to kill the P43 Tur, plus the shell landed a bit short. If the reticule had been tighter, I think it might have been close enough to wipe him out, but there's the P43 Tur now, sitting on that corner, having killed the IS-6, or the IS-6 rather, having been killed. I'm not sure he was the one who did it. Now, if he stays there for much longer, D-Tronics will have him, because he's fully dialed in now. And he's only got a couple of seconds to go. Fires the round in, blind. And yes, the P43 was there. And this time round, it was close enough to actually do the necessary. So, he's got 4 kills now. Things are looking up. The scores are even. He's trying to work out where the enemy is. We've got a Scorpion G hiding behind the house. He's being stunned by the enemy Arty, who are firing at either side of the house to try and kill him with splash. And he really needs to pull back, but unfortunately there's a Pantera just on that corner there. And D-Tronics knows he's there, but he can't fire at him because he can't see him. And we were telling the Scorpion, pull back, and then you can spot for D-Tronics. Okay, D-Tronics has seen that list, or at least seen one of them sitting up on top of the hill next to the windmill. And he's taken some damage. He's almost fully dialed in. He lines up the shots. He's going to have to follow the guy down the hill a little. Okay, should be turning in there. He fires the round in. Oh, he got both of them! Bombardier! That makes him... He's not only got a Bombardier medal, he's got a Top Gun now, because it took him all the way up to 6 kills with one shot. Both Lisses came together at the wrong moment. They both have very few hit points left. And that now frees the Type 59 to head north and find out where that E25 went to. He stopped at the house at the corner, you can see there. And the P44 Pantera, well, we now know where he is, because he's been seen on the corner and he's facing up against the Sturry Mill. Oh, he just got hit by the other RT, and D-Tronics takes out the P44 Pantera, and that now means he's on 7 kills, but I'm afraid we lost the Sturry Mill to the Lorraine 15550 on the enemy team. So he's got 1,286 hit points of damage recorded, and 7 kills, one short of getting a Radley's. Right to the north, presumably there's an E25. I don't think he's there. In fact, I said to D-Tronics at the time, I think that E25 sighting was a long time ago, right at the start of the battle, when I was still alive. And I don't think he's there. D-Tronics was thinking about firing a round in, but he only had 5 rounds left, and there's 4 enemy tanks to kill. If he fired a round in there and it wasn't there, he would have wasted a shell, and he can't really afford to waste any shells at this time in the battle. He says 5 shells left, and I actually indicated or asked the rest of the team to let him get a kill to get his Radleys, because he was so close. Arty Radley medals rarely come that often, but when they do come, it would be nice to get one in these circumstances. He's aiming to where the E25 was last seen again, but as I said, I didn't think at the time that he was there. I thought he'd redeployed somewhere else. Well, nobody appears to be willing to move forward. The Scorpion, who was over on the other side, has come over here. In fact, actually, he was further up. He was supporting the other guys further up. Has come all the way back and is now sitting next to the Artys. And we said that he should be moving forward to give the team some support or spot for the Arty. But he was actually just sitting back, not doing anything. Well, the E25 in our teams decided to move up, but he's precious short of hit points. He's only got about 40, I think, in total. And instead, he's actually heading back towards our cap. And the reason for that was he thought that the enemy Challenger, as well as some of their other vehicles, such as their Arty, would be heading for our cap right now. And if he got back there, he might be able to spot for our Arty to actually do some damage. And the Scorpion has finally realised, yes, he can get involved in this battle. And he's heading back as well. Only 3 minutes left on the clock. The Scorpion said he wanted a draw because for his win rate. But we were trying to point out that, you don't actually get a draw. Does not help your win rate. It actually decreases it. The Scorpion says, I don't care about my win rate. IDC, at least, the win rate. But the thing was that he still had 100% of his health. So he really hadn't been taking part in the battle and actually trading any hit points. Now, one might say that's a good thing, but it's actually a bad thing because he wasn't actually getting stuck in on the enemy. He was being very conservative. And now we're down to 2 minutes and we still don't know where the enemy is. 4 vehicles, 2 tank destroyers, 2 SPGs. The Type 59's got near to the enemy cap, but he still hasn't found them. But I suspect he's about to find them. Yes, because he's just been struck by Arty. That's still the same Type 59. He just got taken out by the Challenger, who was right next door to the house next to the cap. That was the same Type 59 that let me down by not pulling forward to help when we were trying to kill the Lysses. And the E25's just been spotted as well. And he did redeployed in the bushes near the cap. And he just got ambushed by the Scorpion who came up through the other route. So he's out. But we now just need to see where the Challenger is. And that Challenger was last seen near the house. But he's probably not there anymore. He's probably moved again. Now, D-Tronics was looking along this tree line. There's a number of trees been knocked down. They're probably where the Arty is. But he's looking for the Tracer. And what we really need is for the Scorpion to go in and find out where the Challenger is so we can take him out. It's too late to cap. There's no way that the Arty can get up to the other end of the battlefield in this time. And there's no way the Scorpion can cap out on his own. But it certainly would be nice for D-Tronics to go out with a kill and get his Radleys. Scorpion goes into the cap. And that prompts the challenger to stick his head above the parapet so we get to see where he is. The Scorpion sitting in the cap, and the Arty fires and knocks down the building next to him, but there's the challenger. He had to come up to see where the Scorpion is, and there you go. D-Tronics has claimed his Radleys by killing the challenger with only seconds left to go in the game. So it does end up as a draw, but he got a Radley Walters and a Bombardier and a Top Gun out of it. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, second class tanker for D-Tronics UK in the M40, M43. He got a Reaper badge for taking out consecutive enemies with consecutive shots. He also got a Bombardier for taking out 2 CS52 Lysses with 1 shot. As also getting a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 17. A Radley Walters medal for getting at least 8 kills, he got 8 exactly. And also a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills on the enemy. And his win rate from that battle was 2,798, which is Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team score. Well, he wasn't the highest damage in the game. Actually, that went to the Tiger 1 on the enemy team. He had 2,576 hit points of damage, but no high caliber medal. So either that wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool in total, or he did some team damage to a member of his own team during the game, and he was disqualified from getting the high caliber. But D-Tronics managed to get the second highest damage in that game, 2,266 hit points of damage, and the third highest damage was also done by the Arty on our team, the M12. He got a Confederate for 1,782 hit points of damage. Well done. When it came to kills, obviously it was D-Tronics with 8 kills, more than half the enemy team. 3 kills went to the Lorraine 15550, obviously a very good player, and 2 kills went to the Scorpion on our team, the CS52 and the Challenger. And when it came to base XP, it was in fact the Tiger 1 on the enemy team, 636 to him. Then came D-Tronics with, actually no, it wasn't D-Tronics, it was the M12, 591. He was tier 7 in a tier 8 game, so he was hitting higher tier opponents, and that was earning him more XP with each shot, because you get 10% more XP if you hit a higher tier vehicle, if it's 1 tier higher, and you get more XP on top of that if it's 2 tiers higher. There's D-Tronics, 586 base XP from that game. And if we look further down the list, we can see there's me with the LT432, 1,159 hit points of damage. No kills, but I got 387 base XP. And Marybanks managed to get 616 hit points of damage on the enemy. No kills, but 381 base XP. So we weren't sitting around doing nothing. We were actually fighting and getting shots on the enemy. But unfortunately, both of us were killed during the action. And unfortunately we weren't able to help D-Tronics further after that, but great game by him. Let's have a look at details. He fired 13 rounds in that game. He only had 16 to start with, so he had 3 shells left at the end of the game. 3 direct hits on the enemy, one of which was a penetration, 13 splash, damage of 2,266 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 8, and also caused 6 stuns, but didn't get any stun assist. And I think I know why you're not getting stun assist. You're not indicating the target. You've got to use that T key over the target to actually indicate which tank you want your teammates to shoot at. If you don't indicate which target, they won't know which one to shoot at. So as soon as you've stunned an enemy tank, or if you're about to hit an enemy tank, put the T mark over the top of it, or put your reticule over the top, press the T key, and a down arrow will appear on the target, and that's when you hit it, and then your teammates will shoot at it. And that marker, that down arrow, will stay there until the tank goes unsighted, or until you select a new target. On the credits side, he earned 24,450 credits on a premium account and got 30,000 credits for completing the mission and events and 5,039 for courageous resistance. That's for getting an epic medal or a battle hero medal, and he got 1 of each in this game in a losing or drawn game. This was a drawn game. 59,489 credits altogether, and after ammunition resupply he took away 35,179 credits profit. He got 879 XP, 541 for courageous resistance, 4,711 for completing the mission and events, and took away 6,131 experience points altogether. So a particularly good game there for D-Tronics, I think you'll agree. You don't often see somebody with a second-class tanker getting a Reaper, Bombardier, Radleys and a Top Gun all together. And it was sad that it wasn't a win. He did kill that enemy Challenger, and we could have killed the Arty if we'd been able to find them in time. But I'm afraid we just ran out of time because the team just sat around for a long time, scratching its proverbial posterior, trying to work out what they were going to do next, instead of actually pushing on the enemy to try and find out where they were and then allowing D-Tronics to finish them off. So it could have been an even better battle, because if he killed both the Arty as well, that would have been a Pools medal. But it's good enough that it's a Radley's, because they are very rare. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, please. And thanks for watching.